So they'd left him outside there on the aisle. He'd been there 3 days. This is a guy, foreign guy. I think he were American, could have been English, can't remember, don't know. Could have been German, I don't know. And left him there 3 days, and they gave him no water because he didn't have any money. And that's what it said, because I watched video and I watched this interview with him. It were a long time ago, this, as I remember. It were about 5 or 6 years ago I watched this video, as I remember, so it's not all spot on, but a lot of it is spot on. He was there 3 days, they didn't give him any water, they didn't give him any food, and you know, if his good-hearted friend, American friend, hadn't to come to the hospital and paid, right, off his card, paid the hospital bill, as soon as he paid thump, they took him straight into theatre. And he were in I think he'd got a broken leg, broken arm, pelvis. As I remember, he were in quite a bad way, but I know quite a lot of motorbikers what's had a lot of bike accidents, because I used to be a biker myself. You could say I still am, you know. I do ride my bike more or less every day, day on day off, but more or less every day I use a motorbike. I'm a biker, so you know, how bad's that? So he'd been there 3 days, no water, no food, they just left him there. Well, what would have happened? He'd have died. It's not England, it's not England, it's not America, it's not Germany, it's not France, you know, it's not Italy. You're left to die, simple. Well, does that bother me? No. I'm not some type of coward, okay? I don't possess. I'm not like you people. Don't possess all this negativity. I'm a positive person. So what happens if we do fall out of tree and we're cabbaged? Well, that's it. End of story. Like I said, if we fall out of tree and we break his legs, that's it. You know, that's it. Same thing, I've run out of money. What do I do now? I've run out of money. You know, I made a mistake. I'm not going to harp on about it. You know, what do I do? Just live. You know, at British Embassy, British Consulate getting back in touch with me. No, managed to send an email a couple of days ago. We're on Tuesday now. So I managed to send an email a couple of days ago, according to form. It's sent. So that's it. That's life here in Philippines. And when I come back to England, well, you better get insured. What happens if you get knocked down? Well, that's how I live life. I live that life dangerous. Listen, I used to ride my motorbikes at 170 mile an hour everywhere I went. Cars, same. A complete maniac. And I'm a bit wiser now. I don't speed around now, you know, like I used to when I was younger. And I should be dead, because there's many time I've hit cars on my motorbike. I fell out of trees, I fell through barn roofs, I fell off house roofs, and I should be dead. But if you believe in God, you know, God's gonna, maybe God has got better plans for me. Okay, up and up. But you know, it's as simple as that. So no, I don't really live like a coward. I don't fear. You know, okay, if Jovelin falls out of that tree, it's going to be a bit bad, right? It's going to be, don't get me wrong, it's going to be very bad. You know, I would have to try and get her to hospital. I would get her there one way or another. And by the time she gets to hospital, we ain't got no money, so I'd have to try and get money. So I'd have to try and sell my motorbike very fast, right? That's what I'd have to try and do. I would try what I had to do, right? And it's same with me. If I fall out of a tree, Jovelin probably wouldn't have an idea what to do. And if I were in a bad way and an hospital could save my life, well, it looks like I would pass away, I'd die, because, you know, there's no way Jovelin would have money to pay for my operations. So that's it, guys. That is just the reality here. And you know, it really makes me laugh sometimes. Oh, we're here in Palawan, and oh yes, this is the Philippines, and they're having a 5-course meal, and guys, enjoy your life, you know, but the real life here in the Philippines is not like that, okay? Don't get me wrong, you can have a lovely life here in the Philippines. If you've got a little bit of money, 100 quid a week, you can have a nice life here in the Philippines. You know, don't forget your... Oh, before I actually go, this fine they impose on you, you know, I've run out of money, I ain't got no money, and they impose a fine on you, immigration fine. That should be abolished, because at the end of the day, we can't pay it, and like I said, I don't really care. If I go to prison, I go to prison. It's just another way on my journey. When I get back to England, I've got problems, I'll sort problems out, and I will actually, the problems I've got in England, don't know where I'm going to land in England, but if I'm back in Barnsley, and if the problem arises, it will be sorted out, okay? And what goes around comes around. So it's just as simple as that. If we fall out in a tree, that's it, we're dead. And if I go out tomorrow, have a smash on motorbike, break my legs, how will I get home? I suppose I have to crawl home. Do I think anybody will help me? No, I don't think anyone will help me. Do I ask for anyone's help? No, not really. But you know, if Joveline did have a bad accident, I would do what I had to do. I'd go online, I'd ask for support. I'd go to see friends I've got here, so to speak. Or try and, you know, you just do what you have to do, don't you? You know, you have to do what you have to do. But to be honest, you know, you probably won't make it, would you? You know, because you get to hospital and, you know, if you've got no money, bye. You're either going to go up or down, or you're going to stay where you are, and you're going to be a miserable soul. You're going to be dead, but you're going to be still here on earth. You haven't passed on to the other side. So that's it. Will I laugh about it? Of course I'll laugh about it. Why should I be sad about it? Why should I fear it? You know, simple as that, really. When I get back to England and I decide to go to Spain, will I take all this insurance? Oh, you know, you'd be better taking insurance out because he could have an accident. Well, tough titty, I don't really care, you know. And that's when, before I came to Philippines, Philly Health, I thought, well, I'm not going to pay for Philly Health. You know, paying all this money out all the time. Don't get me wrong, a lot of people here in the Philippines have Philly Health. Teachers have Philly Health. A lot of the professional people have Philly Health. And don't get me wrong, when you go into Mercia and you go to ambulance station, they're very, very helpful people here in the Philippines. They're very professional. But look, if you haven't got the money, you've just had an accident, I'm afraid you're going to die if you have not got Philly Health, if you've got no money on you to pay for the surgery. That's just the way things are. Do I care? Not really. So, you know, I hope I put that one to rest because, like I said, that's just life here in the Philippines. And you'll just die. And that's as simple as that. So, have a great day. Take care. God bless. Please like, please subscribe. Please make a comment. Please help support in the way of $1. Philly Health. So, real life in the Philippines. Oh, that myna bird. Lovely, beautiful, red eyes. Don't know the name of the bird, but I'm sure it were a myna bird.